step 8 of your packet, this 8 task that you're working on, I'm really looking for craftsmanship when you're using the permanent markers. I'm looking for clean lines. I'm looking for a nice good detail that you took your time. This is something that's on your final project here. I don't want you to rush it. So I've done 1/2 already just to show you how nice the lines look with the black permanent marker, and how shading in can start looking when you use the black marker as well. So on this side, anywhere that you have the nice long straight lines, I would really like you to use the ruler. Again, when I'm doing these videos, please pause and try it on your own as you're going through, to make it easier on yourself. So the first thing that you need is obviously your project, but you also need a permanent marker and a ruler. Why don't you go get those, pause the video, and come back once you have them. Now that you have both of these tools, you will also find at your table a blank piece of paper. The blank paper is more so the permanent marker does not end up on my table. When it ends up on my table, we need to wash it immediately, otherwise I'm going to have little black marks all over my beautiful tables, and that's not something that I would like. So the first thing I would like you to work on are drawing your nice straight lines. That's with your ruler, and it just makes it easier to get one tool out of the way and really get things looking nice. So anywhere that you're going to have your lines come off of the edge of your paper, that's where you're going to use this blank sheet of paper. So your table will have one of those, and you just put it underneath. So with your ruler, and please put the permanent marker cap on the permanent marker here. Make sure that you line up with your ruler on that nice line. Okay, and you're going to start drawing. When I do this, I try to make sure I have a little bit of a gap because my permanent marker is thicker than the pencil. So just try to leave a little bit of a gap. And I'm going to put my ruler this way. Make sure that I'm doing it nicely all the way across, and there. So I didn't get anything on my paper, but you may, that's why it's there, and that's fine. Do the next line, always meet back at that 0 line. Remember, it's meeting with that other line from the other side of the center dot. Okay, so I did the other one. Remember, it does not go through your circles. You practice that. Just all we're doing is tracing over our pencil lines. And then I have one more going through this one here. Remember, I did a beautiful oops in the very beginning, so don't go through your beautiful oops of the circle. I stopped. Excellent. Now the last straight lines that I have, so obviously you would go all the way around, are the ones inside of your spheres. So once you do those, then you can put the ruler away. So I'm going to do those. Now that I'm done with all of my straight lines, I'm going to put my ruler away. I would like you to take a moment to do these lines if you haven't done so yet, and then pause the video and come back to it. Now, the first thing after you do your straight lines I would like you to do would be your spheres. Starting in our sphere, when you're working on this, there's no wrong way. The best way is just to take your time. Do little sections at a time. We're not going to use the circle tracers, so do not get the circle tracers. We're going to do this by hand, and I'm going to show you that you can easily do it by hand by just doing small sections at a time. Okay, so notice I'm doing small sections. I'm holding my paper so it doesn't move. I'll do a small one here. Follow in. And you notice that I am doing a nice, easy job as I go. Okay, turn your paper as you need. So if it makes it easier to turn your paper facing you, do that to help make the lines. It's easier to draw a line when you're drawing towards yourself. You have more control. Drawing away from yourself, you have less control. So try to start from the top and work your way down towards yourself. Right now I'd like you to do that and just keep going as I finish up coloring in my circle. Okay, so now that I have my sphere colored in, don't worry about doing your other ones yet. I would like to show you wherever you have your X's, and I've approved your X's, that we double checked it. That's when we're going to start coloring. When we color in with permanent marker, it's not like a regular marker. You don't go up and down over and over and over and over again. The more times you go over the permanent marker, the more, one, you're going to wear out your marker, so it's going to not look as nice, and two, you might rip into your paper. So the goal with a permanent marker is that you don't go over the same mark again. So how do you do that? It's similar to painting. You start with drawing a line down, and then you slide over and you draw a line up. Now if you have a little bit, that's when you can go over it. So you go down, slide over, go up. Down, slide over, go up. Down and up, down and up, down, and voila. Do you see how nicely that filled it in? So it's hard to see on here, but what you will notice is you're going to have very fine, nice lines going up and down, and that just gives it a really clean look. I know you've all asked, how did I color in my poster for my 5 points poster? And I did it using this technique with coloring in. So here's a larger square. You can always start from the right or the left, whatever you prefer, but it's easier always drawing, going down lines. So you'll notice I'm going to go up next. Even if you miss a little bit, that's okay to do a little one. Go down, you slide over, you go up. If you miss anything, you can just do quick little lines to get it nice and clean. So I'm going to speed up this video and I'm going to color in the rest of my X's. You may begin doing your X's now. Okay, again, I sped up this video, so it did not take me that quick to color in my sphere, but I want you to really take your time on this. Do nice breathing. Try not talking to the person next to you, because the longer you do that, the longer this is going to take. Your marker cap is off, so the marker starts drying out more because it's exposed to the air, and it's not going to be your best work. I'm really looking at you putting your best work into this and what your craftsmanship looks like. So if you need a break, if you did like a nice big one here and you're like, oh, I just want to do something different, you can then start working on your over-under, your concave and convex lines. Remember, your concave lines dip in and your convex pop out like a rainbow. So when you do those, remember to place that paper behind your project, so that way it doesn't end up on my nice table, and you can work on that. So you may continue to work on your project, and I will just have the music going. Remember, at the end, after you checked it all, make sure you got all your pencil marks. And if you got any permanent marker on my table, please go grab a Clorox wipe and scrub it off as quick as you can. And once you've done this, you may move on to the next video and step. Make sure you get it signed off by me.